name is Antonio Forte. I am a composer, a student, a teacher. I'm a pianist, a multi-instrumentalist. I'm also a visual artist.
Is this a sort of a fusion that you've done before?
I have, but in the opposite equation. Starting from the creation of a visual piece and then interpreting it musically using similar systems but reciprocal systems.
So tell me about that project. I have seen that.
Oh yeah, so that's the ongoing project Chromatophonia. And that was and is a superimposition of the frequency of audible sound, hearable to our human ears, on top of the visible spectrum of light, which we see and our brains interpret as colors. So taking these two physical movements that are happening everywhere around us, it's how we interact with the world. We see light with our eyes, we hear sounds with our ears, but what are those things that we're collecting with our senses? Those can be boiled down as just numbers. They're just waves of energy moving through the universe, and we're just interpreting them as, C sharps and purple and whatever else. I'm not a mathematician or a physicist by any means, but I did some rudimentary formulating and figured out that you can just basically create a ratio or a correspondence or a superimposition of light waves and sound waves together, and then seeing how a red square would sound. Where is the color red on the piano? If you were to map out 88 keys into the full spectrum of red to violet, where does red fall? Where does green fall? What note is that type of thing?
Can you show us those, what you have taped over there on the screen?
Yes, of course. Take a compass, I draw a circle, I take a protractor, divide it into 12 equal parts, so that I have the 12 points of the circle of fifths as well as the 12 points of the color wheel. And then let's say the first chord is a D major triad. So we have D, where's A, and F sharp down here. I take a ruler and connect those 3 points, and they form a triangle. And then I go in and then I shade them in. This is colored pencil on graph paper. But then I just shade them in accordingly. Each color represents a certain note. The top half is a harmonic analysis and superimposition on the color wheel of the circle of fifths. And then the bottom half with these skinny bars of color is melodic superimposition. So each color is a certain note or point on the circle. And then the top half, being harmonic, is each shape or each triangle or group of triangles kind of floating together in a space, or in this case a different type of polygon, are the chords that are happening between the four voices of the string quartet. And it's just each note around that circle connected, literally pencil on paper connecting those dots, and then correspondingly filling in the colors and then shading them together as they meet. So like over here we have a green and a yellow orange, and that represents an F sharp on the bottom and the A on the top, the cello on that last chord. I'm surprised every day when I finish a row or I finish a section, and I take a step back, or I take a break and I come back and get a look from across the room, and I'm just like pleasantly surprised, because I have an idea of what parts of it might look like in an abstract sense because of the sketches that I've done, but as soon as I finish a row and step back, I'm surprised and excited by it a little bit. It's refreshing, and it feels good to kind of get back into doing that, while at the same time not just painting a painting and putting it in a gallery for people to walk by and to say, oh, that looks nice, or oh, that's crap, or whatever, but to have it be a part of something that's bigger than itself. It's important to me as a musician because it's like I'm part of the orchestra in a way. I'm contributing to the overall aesthetic experience of an audience, as well as the other musicians or other artists that are also involved in this project. I'd be very interested to see what work the other artists involved are doing, and if it has any correspondence to what my work has. Because to this point, I have yet to experience their work, and I don't think they have seen my paintings yet.
Do you want a little bit of a spoiler?
No.
All right.
No, because there's still blank canvas to be painted.
It will be a surprise.
It will be a surprise.
And that's the fun of it.